I think Pakistan offers you a lot of opportunity. It was the best decision, I think, for me coming back. I started my career in Teradata, worked at Genesis, and this is a very interesting part for your views as well. I think scarcity is the mother of all inventions. We were working for a $1.6 billion company. I was hired as a country manager for Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan at the age of 26. I was made redundant at the age of 27 and a half or maybe 28 because the company was selling itself. The company Genesis was owned by Alcatel-Lucent. Alcatel-Lucent's most profitable department. So that made me start a business opportunity.
Ahsan,
Yes.
what path did you choose?
My path was selected in a very interesting way, actually.
Tell me about it.
So, I think destiny is really a thing, by the way. So, you should yourself, when you're young, and that's what I think that was one rule that I adopted to do as many things. Don't focus on one thing. Do things that are not related to you, that, will be related to you somehow in the future for sure. So I've done, my entrepreneurial journey has been of various businesses, right? I'm in tech now. I was never in tech before. I was in the food business before.
Really?
I was in, there was this solar window film business before. So I really, done my thing. And now it's tech. I found my sort of niche. But I've always diversified and I've always done things very differently.
Yeah.
That's what the ethos has been. Yeah.
You're the co-founder of C-Square.
Yes.
You're pioneering AI in Pakistan at this moment. The conversation we've had so far before this podcast has been shocking for me because I live in Canada and my misconception about Pakistan is also that it's a very service-centric industry and
absolutely.
country, but you're changing that and you're changing it for the better. But you're also working with brands all around the world, GCC, the US.
Yeah.
You've worked with the biggest banks in Pakistan. You've worked with government bodies.
Yeah.
You've done quite a bit.
I think so.
But, we look at all the accolades now.
Yeah.
There's a lot behind it.
Yeah.
There are values that your parents, I'm sure, instilled in you from a very young age. All your siblings are not successful, but super successful. Your sisters at Microsoft, your brothers in private equity, your other brothers on Forbes,
Retail,
the retail king, you're the AI king. So what was childhood like? What was growing up in Karachi pre 9/11 like? What was that life like?
when the benchmark in the family is very high, it's very difficult to survive in that family. So, as a child, so I'm the youngest out of 4 siblings, and all my siblings are very successful. They're doing very well. They're in Dubai, London, and in the US. Now, growing up, again, I was the youngest. I had things very easy to me as compared to the others. And at the same time, I think I was not a very studious kid. I was never, I wouldn't say a nerd, but I was never focused, right? But my brothers and sister, they were A graders, top performers, head boy, or maybe house captain, and all of that stuff. Best universities, which is Imperial College, LSE, UCL. So I was, as you say, the black sheep of the family. But then again, so when you see up close a lot of success, it motivates you, right? It motivates you to do something. And it's not necessary that if you're not great at studying, you will not be good at business or you will not be. So for me, I think it was always growing up, seeing my siblings achieve everything, always gave me this inspiration that, anything can be done and you can achieve anything yourself. Now, when I graduated from London, did my schooling from Pakistan, my father actually, he started his career in PTCL from the grassroots level as an engineer, and he took an early retirement at SCVP, Corporate Affairs and Operations for PTCL. And I saw his journey, right? And for him, I asked him a few days ago, what was the most proudest moment for you? So he said that when I used to see these entrepreneurs and these businessmen next to me and all their kids going to grammar school, and then the day my kids started going to grammar school, that was the most proud moment for me, that as a government officer, I was able to manage that. So that really was one thing that actually for my father was one of the most joyous things, but obviously along the lines we made him proud, hopefully. But then, I started my career. I came back after graduation. I came back to Pakistan, unlike my other siblings. There were, I think Pakistan has offers you a lot of opportunity. It offers you, under this chaos, there's a lot of opportunity. It was the best decision, I think, for me coming back. I started my career in Teradata, worked at Genesis. Then, and this is a very interesting part for your views as well. I think scarcity is the mother of all inventions, right? So we were working for a $1.6 billion company, Genesis. I was hired as a country manager for Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan at the age of 26.
Wow.
And I was made redundant at the age of 27 and a half or maybe 28 because the company was selling itself. So the company Genesis was owned by Alcatel-Lucent. Alcatel-Lucent's most profitable department. So they were selling. So once they were selling it, they were laying off the people.
Yep.
So they laid off everyone. So that made me start a business opportunity. That's where
no evolution without shock.
Absolutely. And that was the journey where we were a two-man company, started, a service business. We had some relationships in the Middle East. We thought that let's take advantage of the cost arbitrage, right? That we have cheaper resources. Let's send. So we did projects in Jordan, in Lebanon, in Ascotel, and there's Orange Telecom and a few others we did there. And we took advantage of the cost arbitrage, right? Now, along that journey, I had a lot of opportunities, corrupt opportunities, I would say, where I could get a huge project for some hand greasing, as we call it. I used to run it down to my father, and my father gave me two stories of his. He said that earlier in the days in his career that when, PTCL maybe phone lagane ki bhi rishwat hoti thi, right? So my father, there was a large airline that wanted to get these telephones installed, 6, 7. So my father went to his boss to get some papers signed, and my boss said that, have you kept anything for me? His boss said, have you kept anything for me? And my father said, yeah, whatever I'll keep for myself, I'll keep for you. Few days later, I was there in my father's office at that time as a child, and I was entering that lift, those old lifts, right? And his boss came and he said that, what happened about that? So my father said, I didn't keep anything for myself, so I didn't keep anything for you, right?
Yeah.
So that was a shock, right? In an environment, and then that was one incident. And the second incident was when he was very high up in the organization. He was told by a sitting prime minister to give an award, a project to another company. And my father said, I can't do that. And he said, do you know who I'm talking to? And my father said, I can't name the guy, but he was a sitting prime minister back in the days. And my father said, if you can give me in writing, I'll do it. Otherwise, I can't. I'm sorry. So those are the two stories that really, I still have them with me. Because, a prime minister is the head of the state, right? I mean, you're refusing to him on principles, right? So, so that was one aspect of it. And then I see, my father, not an entrepreneur, not a business owner, he managed to send his kids either through scholarships or whatever. They studied in the in London primarily because why London? Because I had my khala in London, right? And then obviously because cost of living is more, so my brother was living there. So you know how you operate. And then my brother used to work at McDonald's. I was lucky enough not to work at McDonald's, but my brother he worked at McDonald's. McDonald's insaan bana deti hai. It makes you a human. If you work at McDonald's, it is so rigorous in London or anywhere else that you become a human, right? So I was fortunate not to get into that grilling, but all of these things shaped me. My sister used to hit me and make me study, and I didn't figure I had ADHD. I figured I had my co-founder in my AI company. He said, "You're an extreme case of ADHD," and I said, "Really?" And then I figured, yes, I am actually, because I'm chaos, right? So wherever I go, there's chaos. And then what I realized is that if you are chaos, then you need people around you who are not chaos, right? So I have people around me who are younger, who are not chaos, who are opposite of me. So I tell people, you need to be, my weaknesses should be your strength, your strength should be my weakness, or something of that sort.
And that's what makes it really
a team,
good, productive team, organization.
And I hate it when people think that, because of their age and because of what they've achieved, a youngster cannot tell them and correct them. That's wrong. I'm always corrected by young people. I'm always told something new by young people. I learn every day.
Yeah.
यहाँ पे ये mindset है that we just don't want to listen to you because I'm more superior to you. I'm your boss or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's not the way. So I think these things were very essential elements in shaping the way we are. And my siblings, they achieving. So I had to sort of really overcompensate there. So I think, ADHD is not a disadvantage. You can take it as a
can be an advantage.
You can take it as a disadvantage and just sulk about it and not do anything about it.
Yeah.
But then you can channelize it and learn how to use it as your strength.
I love that, yeah.
And that's how I was able to. I still have not gotten my 100% grasp on it, but I'm 80% there, right? So, and I think, autistic kids, for example,
yeah,
right? They are freaking talented.
They are.
We just outcast them in a society. I think, so I believe in this, that, if the creator has created someone who's ADHD, who's autistic, if he's given them some limitation, but he's given them some skill, something that he doesn't know, she doesn't know themselves, right? So my co-founder, who is 13, who's 28 now, but he reads PhD academic research from the age of 13.
Oh.
Right? I give him a problem, he gets visual tree diagrams in front of his eyes.
Wow.
He's autistic.
So you have one ADHD and you have one autistic guy running a company.
Yeah, I'm not joking. So I'm telling you that, there was this film back in the days, Amir Khan, Tare Zameen Pe, and I call this boy Tare Zameen Pe. These kids have something very super. You just need to find it. All of them, they have, if God has given someone something less, he's given them, compensating them somewhere else more. I believe this.
I agree with you, 100%.
Right? So, and these are superheroes. These guys are superheroes. So I think my father, the principles, the values that really made me realize that, and also, another thing is that we used to go whenever for a drive in the evening with my father, and he used to give this, on the road there used to be this beggar, he used to give him money all the time. And I used to tell my father, I used to say that he's faking it. He's not, he's got his hands, he's got everything. But my father said, you're not a judge. Who made you the judge? If he goes, buys anything, drugs from it, whatever, that's not your call. You give it to him.
Yeah.
Right? God has made you in this situation. He's given you that blessing that you can help someone.
You're doing your part.
Don't think about what the hell he will do with you, with that money or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And that I thrived on. I swear to you. That is something, I thrive on helping people out. If I have, for example, back in the days, financially I was not doing very well. My co-founder asked me, he said, I need some money. Maybe I had 56,000 rupees in my current account.
Yeah.
I kept 6,000, I gave him 50,000. Because it's no use for me, I'll get it somehow.
Yeah.
And that's how the creator has his ways, that he will compensate you somewhere else, he'll compensate you somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's how life is.
I love that. I think the best return on your investment is when you give everything away. And I've seen it in my life as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I can go on with stories, man. I mean, one more small one, I'll take your time. I was taking my son, he was 5 at that time, for ice cream on a Sunday. And I live in Phase 8. So I just took the car out. I went at the end of the road. For Baskin and Robin, I was supposed to take a right, 100% right. I don't know why I took a left. As soon as I took a left, there's an old guy walking with something on his head, and he's just walking. So I asked my son, doesn't he look sad? My son, 5 years old, he said, yeah, Baba. I said, should I ask him if he's had food? Because it was 3 p.m. So he said yes. So I had passed him, so I took a U-turn. I took back. I asked him whether he's had food. He said, I haven't had food. So I said, sit in the car. I took him home. Whatever there was afternoon food, gave him the food. Now when I came outside, I asked him, where are you from? He said, from Bangladesh. He started crying. I said, what happened? He said, I used to work in a factory in Kurangi. I've lost my vision, right? I can't see. So I don't have money to go back, or I'm just picking this kachra up to sort of, make ends meet. The day this happened, 2 days before this, this was a Sunday, Friday ko. So we have a trust, Seed Pakistan, which we work in vocational training, and we've adopted schools and stuff like that. 2 days ago, we had gotten 100 people cataract surgery in Dera Ismail Khan. This person who I met could have his heart problem, could have any other problem, hearing problem.
He had that one specific
He had one
problem.
specific problem, eye problem. We just did 100 people a week ago, 2 days ago, and God sent 101 person to my house to fix him as well. What are the odds?
Wow.
So obviously we did it, whatever, but I'm just saying, what are the odds that I would meet this person 2 days before we just got 100 people as cataract? God got it done, I didn't get it done. But this guy's there, he's saying the same thing, problem is there. It's just crazy, right?
Wow.
It just gave me goosebumps and it just changed the perspective of life for me. Right? This is what we are here for.
Absolutely.
Yes, your mission is to earn money and to give a family or a good life and everything. But at the end of the day, if you are able to help someone and if you didn't help, then I think that's a big problem for you.
I think even on that point, the story of your dad and how he said we cannot judge other people is also important, because I know a lot of people that help others.
Yeah.
But they also come from a place of, this is all me helping them.
Yeah.
It's my money and I'm giving it away and I'm superior, and it's kind of a God complex. Yeah. But in your case, you're not saying you are the reason why he was helped or you are the reason why he's fixed.
Not at all.
You are a vessel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that is such a beautiful way
I'm no one to help anyone. I'm no one to help anyone.
Exactly.
Once you realize that you are as insignificant as even an ant is superior to you. They make those ant civilization, they make the houses, they make they're so superior. Their brains, they're bigger than you, they're better than you. We are nothing. When we learn ego and arrogance, I think will kill you as an entrepreneur, kill you as a person. The day you realize that you're nothing, you're insignificant, you have not done anything. It's that creator who's done everything. You can try doing whatever best, you can ask for best, but you are insignificant. When we say now we're XYZ and we're this and we're that, nothing.
We're nothing.
Yeah.
I can see why you are the man you are today.
Yeah.
It's the values, right? It's your father, it's your siblings. And a lot of people actually see this as a drawback. I have met people who have had siblings or family members or cousins or parents who have put them to a really high standard. And I feel like the majority of the people I've met in those positions have not succeeded. And they always blame their situation for their lack of success. They blame the fact that, my brother was the one who did everything and I was left with nothing, or I wasn't given the same resources. But actually I had this I guess it was bad for me to assume, but I had assumed that you came from a lot of privilege and wealth. That was my assumption about you. But when you told me before the podcast that your father was working a corporate job and he built his life from the ground up, and the fact that you and all of your siblings did the same thing is mind-boggling to me, because I mean, when I speak to you and the things I'm learning from you during this and before this is, I guess it's wrong for me to assume, but
no, it's. It was not easy. It was, my mother used to, as a side income, she used to do clothes and everything, just to make ends meet. It was a very sort of humble, and obviously, yes, siblings have done very well. Parents are happy now, retired and everything. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you mentioned about success and you mentioned about people blaming others. When people sulk and people sort of crib and complain, I said, no one gives a damn about you.
Yeah.
You need to care about yourself.
Yeah.
Success is, the definition for me for success is how quick you stand back again after a failure. That's success.
Yeah.
You will fail, you will fail, you will fail, you will fail. How quick do you do the next failure is your success.
So what has been your relationship with failure? Because as an entrepreneur myself, I tell my team this: fail as quickly as possible, fail as much as possible, because every failure is one step closer to success. But have you built a system, because you have much more experience than I have? Have you built a system around failing and then, like you said, getting back up?
So, there's no system around it because, as I said, my life is chaos, right? So the thing is that, let's define. So I think if my journey in terms of from the entrepreneurial journey in the food delivery place, right? It had its own challenges and its own things. It didn't work as well as I had anticipated. And plus, obviously, it has its own problems, right? When you're dealing with a particular segment of labor, it's very difficult to sort of work with them and to sort of manage things. So I think failure is an ongoing thing. You're never prepared for it. But yes, living in Karachi, we've always been tuned to the fact that you need to make plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E. So you have contingencies for everything to mitigate that failure. We've been able to orchestrate a lot of amazing things by doing these contingency plannings for that. But I mean, I personally, so I think in school life, failure was a very common friend of mine. But, I mean, I never failed, but I did bare minimum there. But I think, coming out of that and then being able to sort of do something and recreate something. And actually, so for me now I've realized if I'm alone, I'll fail. If I'm with the collective team, I will not fail. Right? So that's also the thing. Partner with the right people, be with the right people. Even if they're young, I am surrounded by youngsters, literally surrounded by youngsters, because I feel that they have more energy, they're more, and they all have their own skill set. And obviously the future belongs to the youngsters, right? I mean, technology side, this AI and the technological advantage, how quick this is changing and evolving, for me to keep up to it is very difficult. So I need to have these young minds with me. So, I mean, there's no fixed recipe for how to sort of comply by failing and how to come out of it. It's just about how intuitive and how flexible you are and adaptive you are to situations, I would say.
Yeah, and I think it also is connected to being scrappy. So as an entrepreneur, like you have been part of so many different industries. You've set up businesses, some have failed, some have succeeded. You have a couple of different businesses going on right now. But you also have to be willing to do anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as entrepreneurs in Pakistan, we have something called Sate culture. It's just like we're going to go sit in the office and everybody's going to do the work for us, and we're just going to be, we're going to sit on our thrones and make the money and reap from the benefits. But the reality is it's not like that. And a lot of people who come into this business with this mindset fail. The majority of them.
Absolutely. Last 5 days, I am going every day to site. Okay. I have a team. They can go to site. For a client, one of our clients, and I closed the deal yesterday. It's a very good deal. So I've been going myself for the last 5 days. It's not a pleasant thing going to site, right? It's 3 hours coming back and going. And at times I hate driving in Karachi, and I've had to drive as well. So you have to do things yourself as well. But it's not that you do things yourself all the time. You need to select, you need to empower your team, you need to delegate your team, you need to let your team make mistakes. Yahan pe, the Sate culture that we have, I've said it, that's done and dusted, nothing else, right? The Sate will never be challenged by his employee, right? He will never like to be corrected, right? So that's not what I am. I think that I want to be challenged. If I'm not challenged, that means you're not adding any value to me, right? So if I'm right, then I don't need you. Right? But I need you.
Mindset.
But I need you. But I need you. Because I need people who can correct me because I'm not right. I know I have one skill. Right? That's the only skill I have. Uske alawa I don't. So I need people with other skills, right, to add value to my skill. That's it.
I think it's all complementary, right? Like, so even within my team, my only skill is sales. Like, I think I'm really, really good at sales, but everything else I'm horrible at. Like, I can't do my accounts. I can't do graphic design. I'm not going to be editing this video, and I'm fine with that. That's why I want to find other people and I want to give them the autonomy and the independence for them to thrive in their own form of chaos, right?
Yes.
So I think that's really important, and I like the way you put it. It's how quickly you get back up, right? We're all going to fail. It's inevitable, but it's just how quickly we get back up. So I want to start off like you started your career in London. You started in the corporate world. You moved back to Pakistan. And you were part of Genesis, which is a multi-billion-dollar company. You got laid off. Where did the pivot to entrepreneurship start?
So the pivot to entrepreneurship. So I mean, look, I've been a UK resident since 1992. Okay. And against all odds, against my father's wishes, I came back. He didn't want me to come back, right? And thankfully I came back. Because there were two things that changed my life when I came back. When I was working for Genesis, at that time getting 5.
By the way, this isn't Genesis, the car company.
No, no, no,
for our viewers.
No. So it's not the car company. It's Genesis is a customer experience, a telecommunication company. And at that time, it was a $1.6 billion company. Today, it's a $20 billion company. And we're still affiliated. One of my companies is still affiliated with them, and we have a majority market share in Pakistan for them and in the Middle East as well. So, and I was sort of, living the highs, getting $5,500 at the age of 26, loving it, and was going to Afghanistan, Bangladesh, very frequent at that time. And then when they announced laying off, obviously, and the acquisition or the spin-off that happened, that was a time when we said that, who will employ us now, right? I mean, from that level, really, should we, and we had built some relationships in the Middle East by then, right?
Yeah.
In that 1.5, 2 years. So we said that, why don't we talk to them and say that you have projects and we'll send you people for implementation. And that's what happened, right? And in fact, prior to that, when I was during Genesis time, in fact, there was a very terrible incident that happened in my life. My mother was shot in Karachi.
Oh, wow.
This was in 2008, I think, 2008. And I remember I was at Movenpick at that time, distributing some awards or something. And that whole incident actually was a reinstatement for me that I need to stay here, right? I mean, because I was always non-content and what am I doing here and all of that. So that incident really reminded me why I'm here. And that then, obviously then from Genesis period ending, we said, why don't we create a resource arbitrage hub over here, which is, we saw other companies in India and in Pakistan that have these 400-500 resources, and they're providing services to the Middle East and everywhere. So we started off with 1 or 2 projects, small projects, maybe $25,000 of services where, my partner, he went for the implementation maybe, or, whatever. What changed our lives was from a 2-man company to a big company was this project in Standard Chartered Bank.
Okay.
Standard Chartered Bank Pakistan had selected a technology Genesis globally, right? So now they were looking for the implementation partner who will implement this technology for us in Pakistan. So there was this guy from Singapore. His name was Chris Drew, I think, Chris Drew. And he was from Singapore, and he came and he said that he wants to meet the vendors. So he met us, 2-man company, and he met Teradata. So we were sitting in the conference room. He used to ask us questions and we used to answer him. He used to ask us questions, we used to answer him. He said, guys, stop answering. We want them to answer. So he asked the question.
You were competing in the same room?
Yeah, in the same room.
Teradata is a large,
and
very big
we were
company.
ex-Teradata.
Yeah.
So they had new people there sitting now, right? So they had, once Chris asked them a question, they said that we'll get back to you. 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 So Chris said, these are the guys you need to work with. So then we didn't have an office. We didn't have anything. And it's Standard Chartered Bank. And then I had to pull off something that I told my friend. I said, listen, empty your office. I might need to show them as my office.
Wow.
But I didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't need to do that. So because they want to see a company, right? They don't want to see 2 people. I mean, why would Standard Chartered want to work with them?
Yeah.
That was the first contract. $167,000 for services, not for a product, for implementation. जिस मुल्क में companies technology बेचती हैं, hardware की ये price है, software is this price, services, all inclusive. That's what's written normally.
Yeah.
In that country, we were able to just sell services, project management, development, implementation, $167,000. I remember, I can see that PO in front of my eyes, right? Then we hired people, from everywhere, from Teradata, from here and there, and we built a team, we delivered that project, and then it was obviously...
But this is such an important lesson in business because everybody thinks they need to figure it out before getting the contract.
Money is not a problem. By the way, whoever thinks that for a business to start, you need money is the biggest crap.
I want you to say that again.
To start a business, you don't need money. You need an idea. You need an idea. You need a plan.
Yep.
Every business will fail without a plan.
Okay.
You don't have a plan, you'll fail. I'll keep telling people that no matter what you do, you don't have a plan, you will fail. But money will come in if you have a good idea. People invest in people. People invest in people, not in companies, not in products. They invest in people.
Yes.
Right? We've been able to do that. It's just, people buy from people, people invest from people, in people, right? And वो कहते हैं ना कि you need to show legacy, cash flow. I don't think so. It's just people invest in people.
I say this so often at every single event when I meet somebody young. The biggest problem they have is we don't have an investment. We don't have money to start with. And I keep telling them, and it's my favorite saying, my team will probably be annoyed by how many times I say this, but people buy from people they like and they trust. It's not about how much money you have in the account. It's not about how big your company is or what your payroll's looking like or how many people you have sitting in your office. It's just you.
But it's easy for you and me to say that because we're salesmen.
That's true.
It's not easy for the guy who's a finance or a entrepreneur or a back-end developer to go and to create that comfort with an investor. That's the problem.
But they have to develop that skill over time as well.
So some skills are developed, some skills are inherent, right? So partner with someone who knows how to sell. Right?
Yes.
Why are you being selfish? I am a developer and I am an accountant and we are building a product. You two can't survive. You need a third person who can sell, who can market. Any business and every business, it will not survive without sales.
Of course.
So sales to lao na. Banda sales wala to lao na. Ek tech geek or ek finance geek, he will not be able to scale that business. He needs to partner with someone with a sales acumen. You can't learn that acumen over 3 months, 4 months. I don't think so.
You can't.
It's very instilled from, I think traveling frequently international as a child gave me a lot of, how I am and how I'm shaped today. Exposure, talking to different people, different age groups, that really, I added value. But sitting in a room and coding and thinking that you build the best product and this will be the mind-blowing technology, but without salesmen, you don't have anything.
Yeah, so it's also to your point, it's not just about having the best idea, it's also the execution on the idea, right? Because nothing sells itself. Like people say my product will sell itself. There is no product on earth. Like if you look at Apple, for example, and you look at their iPhones every year, they spend hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars on their marketing and their adverts, and they're hiring the best talent. And why are they pushing out all that money when they have the best product, the best phone in the world at this moment in time? It's because sales and marketing is very, very, very important. So to your point, what you're saying is if you're a developer, if you're a back-end person, or to generalize this, if you want a quote-unquote salesperson, but you have a good idea or product, what you should do is find somebody who is good at selling or good at marketing, partner up with them, and you have a higher chance of succeeding. Yeah,
and look, I mean, there are some companies right now, I think, either Snowflake or some of the other ones, Claude, I think, they don't have a single salesperson. That is true. But their co-founders are salespersons.
I see.
Right? So when at a leadership level you have that sales acumen and that sales thing, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Because then it's tech selling to tech.
Yes.
Right? So it really, I mean, in this environment, and I've learned a lot of things that how traditional software companies and traditional ITs, we're all service businesses in Pakistan, right? And it's unfortunate. We will become a graveyard of IT service businesses because the way agentic AI and the way things are changing and evolving. So for us, we need to really adopt to all of these new changes that are happening. Otherwise, we will become redundant and not valuable to the world, right?
And what's the solution to this?
Solution is, I think I'm in between two companies, one destroying the other, right? It's a great place to be in, but people would say that's not a good place to be in. Why are you destroying the other company? If I don't destroy it, someone else will destroy it.
It's a good way to look at it,
right? So, so the solution is, if you ask me, is patience, number one. It's R&D, right? And enough of sort of being infatuated with foreign products and selling those foreign products for, earning some margin and then obviously some implementation services, because that's gone. I mean, those days
nothing proprietary. Anybody can replace you.
Your valuation will not be significant in anything. Now, we do, and in Pakistan, I would say that we have the most talented minds. We've always extorted these minds. We've always, and there's been a talent drain. Why? Because any as I say it, will not give the benefit to the talented individual who he's hired. He will not even give him equity, right? I've given equity to two co-founders at the age of 26 पे दी थी उनको मैंने दोनों को equity co-founders in दोनों, right? And no one does that.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Nobody.
Nobody.
And I've had conversations with friends who also run IT companies, and they tell me, Umer, it's the biggest mistake you're making giving equity to your leadership team. And I always push back. I said, you are
Give them
making
ESOP.
a mistake.
Give them ESOP.
Yep.
Give them ESOP.
Yep.
Employee stock options.
Yep.
Right. Don't give them straight up equity, but obviously the founding members you need to give equity.
You have to.
Because I know the value of my co-founder. Right.
Exactly.
The what I don't have, he has.
Yeah.
Right. And I need that. And I need that permanent. So for the leadership team, for the essential puzzle, you need to give them equity, and then you can give ESOP to your leadership team, because how will you retain them? Because these guys are getting jobs, $5,000, $10,000 from New Zealand, from Australia. How would you retain them? Mm-hmm. Right? So I think giving them equity, ESOP, is the best way to sort of retain them.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you for getting to the midpoint of this podcast. Listen, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you for giving us a chance to listen or watch this podcast. I've put a lot of effort into it, and I'm so happy to see people enjoying it. The reason why I'm doing this podcast is, number one, I love authentic storytelling, but the problem I see is every other podcast or show has the same guest coming over and over again. And I do think that defeats the purpose of authentic storytelling. So my guarantee to you is I will always bring on people with authentic stories, people who are relatable, and people who have lived these larger than life stories. And number two, I just need feedback from you guys. I need feedback on if I'm doing a good job, feedback on if I'm doing a bad job, feedback through the comments, through Instagram DMs. Anything will help me better my craft. I appreciate you guys for getting to the midpoint of this podcast, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it. Thank you. So tell me more about the company right now. You're in the AI space. I want you to kind of break down exactly what you do, what problem you're solving. And then also, we've spoken about generative AI before the podcast. We spoke about AI agents. A lot of people don't understand what any of this means. Because I'm in the industry, I understand a bit, but to be fair, I don't understand that much myself. So just go into more detail about what AI entails, especially within the space you're in.
So sure. So the company that we founded about 5 years ago is WAI Industries. Mm-hmm. WAI means consciousness in Arabic. WAI is a holdco, and it's got two companies within it. It's called Ism AI and WorkCycle. Now, what we're doing over here is, so if you ask, so research is something that we realized was the core forte or the core forefront of our organization. Technological advantages are very short-lived now, right? You need to be on a continuous spin of researching. And today, the only one thing that machines cannot do better than humans is research. Other than that, machines can do anything than you and I can do today.
Yeah.
They can reason out, they can perform, they can do much faster performance of work. They can emulate humans completely, right? The best brains.
Yeah.
So WAI Industries, when we started the company, the idea was, so I'll tell you, I'll break it down into something. So the old company, which is C Square, does customer service, customer experience. So we do contact center deployments for banks, for telcos. So we have about 24 banks in Pakistan, and we have half Saudi government, then Emirates NBD, and globally we've done a lot of deployments. Now that's providing technology for human agents to use, right? Then we saw a shift in conversational AI. A lot of RFPs coming in Pakistan, conversational AI.
And what's RFPs and also
RFPs are requests for proposals from companies and conversational AI chatbots. So I'm talking about 3 years ago when these banks were requiring chatbots.
Okay.
Now, at that time, within my old company, because we didn't have the ethos of R&D and development and creating something, we were more of a service business, so we couldn't create anything. And at that time, language was a barrier. So Urdu was not available in majority of the international chatbots. So I went to my current co-founder for my AI company, and I said to him, can we create chatbots, and can we be better than IBM Watson or Yellow.ai? And because there are these projects that are coming in the market, so these 5 banks in Pakistan, Bank Al Falah, UBL, Faisal Bank, Bank Al Habib. So they issued an RFP, request for proposal, and the competition that is standing there is IBM and Yellow.ai, the world's best. Right? I tell my partner, I said, how will we compete against them? Mm-hmm. He said, we know everything about them, they don't know anything about us.
Wow.
Right? So we were able to create, and we were able to compete. And we scored the highest. In one of the banks, there were 8 vendors. We scored the highest amongst 8. And we won that contract. The other bank, we beat Yellow.ai head-on competition, apple to apple. We created a POC for them, for the bank, and Yellow.ai created a POC. Our product was much better. So we were able to sell a Pakistani product, a built-in Pakistan product, for about $290,000, right? Which has never happened before, right? So that was the conversational AI time era, but then the market evolved, right? And we saw that chatbots are obsolete, right? I was very fortunate with my co-founder who reads academic research from the age of 13. I was very fortunate that he knows his research and he knows where the direction is heading. He has been totally right in terms of predictions. AI agents, he was the one who told me, I saw GPT-2 7 years ago. Let's put it that way. 7 years ago, I saw GPT-2.
Yeah.
It changed my perspective of things. I said, if this thing is coming out, what will happen of the service companies, right? The world is going to change.
It will.
He showed it to me. And then 6 years ago, he talked about AI agents, right? And how AI agents are completely going to emulate humans and do what humans can do much better. So we did this project for a client of ours in US. It's a chemical compliance company, one of the largest. So what they wanted was they had environmentalists, they had legal experts, hundreds of them, and they had hundreds of developers.
Okay.
Now, any regulatory change, and in any state, what impact that brings on to this chemical compliance company, right? These legal experts and environmentalists talk and they discuss and they take days and months or weeks, whatever, to come up with a plan and tell the developers how to mitigate this impact. We created these AI agents that are environmentalists, 7 AI agents. 2 are environmentalists, 2 are legal experts. They are the world's best legal experts, the world's best environmentalists. They reason out based on that regulatory change. They study, they reason out the impact it will bring on the thing. Then they come up with an optimal outcome and output, how to mitigate that from impacting them. They tell the AI developer, start coding a script in reverse numeric values, these values. I see the AI agent coding. Then I see a QA AI agent fixing that code, and within 5 seconds on SAP, there's an IP generated and there's a code to mitigate that regulatory thing to impact. Right? That is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? So then AI agents, and I swear, man, I went to Saudi, I was there, and at that time, 2 years ago, no one knew AI agents. And literally, that was a time when we had, it was early, I think it was about 3 years ago, when we came back from that flight and I saw LinkedIn and everything full of AI agents, right? And I'm like, and then I get calls from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, you talked about these AI agents, right? Because then people started hearing. So then my partner said to me after, we were in the AI agent domain, he said, listen, there'll be thousands of companies coming in the AI agent domain. We need to get the hell out of here.
So you predicted that it was going to be obsolete within a couple of years?
I didn't, my partner did.
Okay.
And he has been so right in so many things, and I went with that.
Yeah.
He said there are so many companies going to come in the AI agent race. There'll be some winners, there'll be some losers. We need to get out of this race. We need to go into another race, which is, these are vertical-based AI agents, right? Your finance, your HR, your customer service, just like in an organization, finance does not have context of human resources.
Yeah.
Human resource does not have context of audit, right? They're sitting in silos. These AI agents are also in silos.
Yeah.
So when large enterprises use large language models, their accuracy is about 72%.
Yeah.
Their speed of results is very slow.
Yeah.
The speed of results is very slow. So we will build context-aware AI agents.
Yeah.
So what we've created Alara. It's an operating system. It sits on top of the AI agents, right? You can use third-party AI LLMs. You can use anything. We have our own pre-built LLMs as well. Now, what this keeps a memory ledger, right, and a few other neurosymbolic reasoning and very scientific things. So we with all of that, we are able to build context-aware organizations. So imagine Queen Bee. There's a hive. Queen Bee is a supervisor. She has AI agents, which are the bees, right? This is how our AI agents work, right? So the Queen Bee is the leader of the pack. She will create and she will tell who needs to do what task, right? And she can create, for more efficiency, she can create more AI agents, right? So this is what we are doing, right? We have created that layer, which is an orchestration layer, which will help organizations or enterprises achieve more accuracy, 25 to 30% more accuracy as of what today, more speed and more efficacy, and meanwhile keeping the security parameters. This is something that no one is doing right now, right? When we started doing this, we said that how do we create guardrails? Because that's a big problem. In an enterprise, your LLMs hallucinate and everything, right? So there have to be guardrails. So there's no product out there specifically for guardrails or specifically for administrative. We created our own product called PolyX and we integrated with Alara, right? And what that does is it allows HR department manager 1 to use these many tokens a day, 3 to use these many tokens. This is what he can do, this is what he can't do. So we created a whole suite, right, where there are companies available in silos that are doing minor things, but we're doing the whole 9 yards, right? And there's no one in that space. So this is what we do. We will improve your results today by 20, 30%, and 10 years from now, any chat GPT 20, 30, whatever versions come. So we are agnostic of third-party LLMs, right? And we have our own pre-built LLMs as well. So that's what we're doing.
So I think core lessons over here. Number one, because a lot of people have come to me and they've told me, Umer, you need to start an AI agent company or you need to start an AI automation company. And I always push back because I think it's going to, and it is already becoming obsolete to a certain extent. But it's very interesting how your co-founder, this is early on, this is when it was becoming a thing, predicted that we need to get out. Most people were getting in. Most people, bigger companies, enterprise level, they were like, we need to throw in money into this. We need to throw in money into R&D and we need to build as many AI agents as possible. Instead of that, you guys said, we're going to push out.
We found our own niche, basically.
You found your niche, and it's really important. So this is the core message here is, you were already in a niche. AI agents in itself is a niche, but you niched one more time. You niched another layer.
There was another problem, right? So when we were pick up the phone, call my wife, ask her when was the first time she heard AI agents. 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I don't think anyone knew what AI agents are. And I used to say that because of my co-founder, AI agents. Now, we were first in the race. We could have become the unicorn then.
You had first movers.
But we were disadvantaged. We were sitting in Pakistan. We could not announce or we could not claim the fame, right, that much. So we didn't take that as sheesh, now let's just close the business, right? Because that's the normal thing. If you're starting something or you see a lot of other with big cash amount.
You get intimidated. And
right? We would have said, okay, fine, waste. But no, we said realign ourselves. Because this is the space that we were. We were the first ones there. We can find another space that is we were the first ones there too, right? So we realigned ourselves. Today, there's no one in this space. I've got validations globally that this is solid where we are heading. We have been working in the emerging markets and we've been working in developed markets. Imagine, this has happened the first time, by the way. Pakistan is an IT service. 99.99 companies are IT service companies. We created a product-based company in 4 years, which is valued more than my 15-year-old service company. It's 10 times more valued, right? For the first time, the technology was created, was sold to large banks against the best competitors, right? We won those contracts. Then we have international resellers selling our technology.
Wow. And this is a Pakistani
So normally,
product.
Pakistan sells other Gorogi technology, right? So we have companies in Saudi Arabia, right? So there's Go Telecom that we've gotten into contract. We're just enabling their sales team. So they want to sell locally. Then there's Viacom in Kuwait. Kuwait is a phenomenal market for us. We are going to sign our first bank, inshallah, in February. And then we have 5 more banks in Kuwait. So there are other companies selling our technology. Now that is the beauty. Then that's why we realize we will scale. That's how we will scale, right? But we work in the US on the service side a lot, but we want to expand our footprint there. Bahrain, Turkey, these are the markets that we're already working in. And through our resellers. So this is something that has never happened before.
I hear us reselling other products. And, it's when I speak to you, I think, given the values that were instilled in you, the principles you maintain, and I think your outlook on life as a whole, there's a very significant difference between hard skills and soft skills. I think the biggest problem Pakistani talent faces is a lack of soft skills. We have exceptionally talented people. My team, they are 1 million times more talented than I am. They're technical, they're smart, they're good research people, just like you mentioned.
Their
communication is good, but it can be better. But the thing we lack is soft skills. And if you want to get into different markets, like in your case, you're targeting the GCC, you're going to Turkey, you're going to
Kuwait,
everywhere, all around the world. I don't think you could do that without the soft skills. I don't think you could do that without the sales skills, without the communication skills, without also showing them the value in you. Like you gave me the story of how you went to Kuwait and you mentioned what did they think Pakistanis were?
Yeah, that's very good. So in Kuwait, we met about 9 banks over there, and one of the banks that we're working with right now. So in Arabic, they were talking to our partner, and they were saying that I thought that Pakistanis are only laborers, but yeah, they made the nuclear capability. So I'm sure they can do AI because these guys are great. These guys are now like they impressed us, right? But I thought they're laborers, but I was wrong. So that's amazing, right?
And that's your testament to your that's a testament to your communication skills, right?
Yeah, I think so. I guess so. And you know what? I mean, so whenever I've sold something, I sold my partner first. So I sell him first, right? Because, and I swear, I've put that boy in a room full of PhDs in Saudi Arabia. He has blown them away.
Yeah.
He was picked up by the Austrian leadership program, by the Austrian government, full paid for everything. He went to Austria for a 5-week program. Yeah. He was the only Pakistani selected from here.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think soft skills has a big contribution. Essentially, at the end of the day, I don't sell a company or a product. I sell my partner first, and then make way for him, and then I just, that's how it is. Yeah.
I have a much better or much more well-rounded perspective of who you are as a person and how you're running your organization. And I think that now that we've gone through your values, your business, it's technical. I know a lot of people may find it hard to understand, but I want to simplify a couple of things. Now, I want you to talk directly to that young person who is in college or who's graduating and is looking to get into the workplace. What is his future looking like, his or her future looking like? Because as we discussed, AI is taking over jobs. It is making a lot of resources within organizations, like we're seeing in these really, really big organizations are laying people off left, right, and center. Yeah. So it is going to take over our jobs.
Yeah.
But what do we do about it?
So you see, I love talking to young kids, and I was at one of the universities over here and talking to this, I think finally a batch, computer science batch. So there were a lot of questions as well, and those questions are very interesting when, as a youngster, when you're graduating, you're going into the world, you have a lot of energy level and everything, but you don't know the reality of the world, right? And so again, now number one rule, you will fail 1,000 times. Fail 1,001 times, you will succeed after that.
Eventually, yes.
Right?
But you have to keep at it as well.
So that's one. Second, collaborate. Don't do anything yourself, right? You guys if you're in college, you're in 4 years, you've spent together, you know each other's strengths, weaknesses, right? Try to collaborate as much because there's very less you can do alone unless you are some rocket scientist, right? So find the right people to collaborate with. Make sure that there's one person who's a marketing sales guru, somehow or the other, because that is what will be the front face of your organization. Meanwhile, whatever you can create, whatever you can do, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you need someone with that plan ahead. The other thing is a lot of these youngsters are always, I would say, getting exposure, multiple exposures, getting exposures in things that are directly not related to you. I, for example, at the age of 30, I went to the National Defense University, National Security Program, which is a very privileged sort of thing to do. I mean, I was fortunate to be selected. I was amongst 5 civilians, and then there are, military people, and then there are politicians. I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But I was a Pakistani, and I wanted to see, living in Pakistan, that what Pakistan is about and what our national ethos is about.
Yeah.
Right? And that gave me a lot of perspectives of things. I mean, I was first in Karachi Grammar School, in Karachi, in a nutshell. Only my relationships were in Karachi.
Yeah.
Then with this perspective, I had relationships all over Pakistan.
Yeah.
I had the exposure all over Pakistan. So that was something that was never related to me.
Yeah.
Right? But that gave me a lot of opportunities. I mean, I was advising to the Prime Minister back in the days as a national security advisor on emerging technology, how technology will impact national security. right? And I remember giving one document to the National Security Minister on something very close to me is on 5th Gen war. And I gave him this document and I said that and this guy's a very learned guy. And I said, you love this document, just give me your feedback. 3 days later, he calls me back. He's like, who made this document? I said, 20% I did, 80% my partner did. He said, this document is a piece of art. And that boy made it in 5 hours. Wow. Right? So coming back to your point, get exposures, different exposures. They give you a lot of perspective, a lot of things. B, collaborate with the right people. C, never fear that you don't have money to start a business. Money will come. Network with people, meet multiple people, not related to you, get as much exposure. And today the world has changed. A PhD versus a 10-year-old kid who knows how to use ChatGPT
is equivalent
to the PhD. So knowledge is no more a commodity, rare commodity, right? So you have that holy grail there. I mean, you can do so much. You don't need a researcher now to start a business. So anyone who wants to get into business or start something, first of all, start something and keep the fundamental of your organization agentic AI, right? That should be your bunyad, that should be your fundamental basis, your gravity point. You will be able to compete with the blue chip, large enterprise, stock exchange listed company if you have agentic AI as a fundamental of your organization, because then you don't need to hire thousands of people.
Yeah.
You have your AI agents to do your finance, you have your AI agents to do your marketing, your social listening, your sales, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So those are the 3 things I would say. Collaborate, don't think about money, and diversify your interactions and your interactions. Diversify.
I think that the diversification of your exposure and kind of learning different things is really important, and we don't do that. So I've gotten advice over the years that Umer, double down on only one thing and focus on one thing, and I have taken up, and I think that advice is good, but it's also really, really important to be in the know of everything else. Because if I'm just focused, like I'm in the business of books, if I just know about books, then my capabilities are very limited. But if I take my time to learn AI, or if I take my time to learn web development, or if I take my time to learn software development, then that gives me an edge over the other book people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then the point of collaboration is also like, I think the most important aspect of any organization, any team, any department is how well they collaborate with each other. And this is, I see this within my own organization, and I'm sure you've seen this within yours. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because we think, for example, I have my way of doing business, you have your way of doing business, and your colleagues and partners will also have their own respective ways of doing business. But key point in what you've said is just figure out what your strengths are and figure out what their strengths are, complement each other, and then build.
One more thing. So, and this collaboration, my first company, the service company, I always collaborated with the big brothers in the Middle East, like the big companies, rode on their backs to get the small piece of the business. Right? Always. That is what will get you. Don't have your ego and just whatever. Just keep that on the side, because to earn or to make a business, to create a business, you have to keep your ego on the side.
Yeah.
Right? You collaborate, you work with the big, and then one day you'll be big enough that others will be working with you.
Yeah.
Right? So absolutely, I think, you put it very well. Yeah.
You have to be patient as well, right? Like your success is not overnight.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, I think you were in the franchising business for a couple of years.
So that was when I was in London. So my brother he's now master franchisee for the entire UK for Miniso.
Yeah.
When I was in college days, he started the Subway franchise in London in 2003. So he was actually, again, this is very interesting. So he called my father from London. He said, I got into NCAD Business School for MBA.
Yep.
And I also got my Subway franchise approved. My father said, will my son make sandwiches now after so much studying? He selected that route.
Yeah.
And then, we started the first store, 2 stores, 3 stores, went to 35 stores, sold that. Now he's just on Mini. So he's a retail guru. He's in London now. But yeah, I mean, and he betted on Miniso because the economic downturn in UK was something that, you Hamleys and everything is very expensive.
Very,
right?
very
So Miniso is something.
They're all going bankrupt.
Yeah. And Toys R Us, everyone went bankrupt. So Miniso is something Marvel ki, you get so cheap, like small things that you can throw it away after a few days,
Exactly.
right? So that bet was spot on.
That's why fast fashion is doing so well, right? Like even Primark in the UK is.
Oh yeah,
their numbers are crazy.
I was crazy. Primark in Kuwait. I'm going and on road. I'm seeing everywhere Primark signs. Primark signs. Primark
in Kuwait?
I went to a mall and I see a line and I see maybe iPhone store. No, it's a Primark store.
Are you serious? Wow.
So, and one thing that we don't do, and I swear, even in that when I was speaking to these kids, and I asked them, how many of you read books?
None of them.
None of them.
It's a big problem.
Big problem.
And I'm telling you, like,
as a nation, we've lost the habit of reading books.
No, we've lost the habit of consuming things that are good for us.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's just limited to our nation. It's any young people anywhere in the world. And I live in Canada, I live in the West. The young people there are not better than the young people here. I think it's just, I guess it's all interconnected and it leads to one thing and one thing only. People are always focused on the outcome. And one of my other guests put this really, really well, and it's been stuck in my head since then. He says it's not about what you want to do, it's about who you want to become. And it's so important, right? Because if you were focused on just, I just want to make money, I just want to have a nice car, I just want to have a nice house, it defeats the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. If your purpose is directly connected to
purpose has to be much bigger.
It has to be bigger than you. Your purpose has to be bigger than you or even your family. Like when I read that you're operating 12 schools, if I'm not mistaken.
No, more than that. 44 now.
44 schools.
44.
That's your purpose.
Yeah.
And
44,
it gives you such a big driving force, right? Like it's not just about me anymore. It's not just about how much money I have in my bank account. It's 44 schools with hundreds, if not thousands of students. So back to like the young person thing. My advice whenever I meet a young person is forget about the money, forget about the material, focus on the outcome, focus on what you can achieve, not in 1 year, not in 2 years, not in 3 years, in decades. It takes decades.
Yeah, because,
it does.
Because aspirations is not money. Aspiration is a much bigger thing. If you ask what's your aspiration, you need to take a few minutes to think about it, right? You need to have a much bigger goal. Your aspiration has to be the end destination. How you get there is something that you need to have. And another thing that I would tell youngsters, you need to keep mentors with you.
So important.
So important.
So I came to you for mentoring 3-4 years ago.
I have so many mentors in my life, right, who I respect and I, take guidance from them. It's very important. It's nothing to be shameful of. I mean,
it's your ego that gets in the way.
I mean, I have mentors. I mean, I have the best mentors and I love it, right? So you need to have those mentors in your life. That's very important.
No, I had a mentor when I moved to Canada. He was my second or third client. He's still my mentor. I swear to you, in that 1 year, it's like I did one PhD. Because this guy is in his 60s. This guy's in his 60s, and I'm getting wisdom from somebody who's achieved the things that I can't even think of.
You're so lucky.
And and I'm getting it for free. And if you don't have access to the advice over here is if you don't have access to mentors, then read a damn book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Read the book.
Absolutely.
Because the most successful people in the world have written these books for you to learn from them, but it's your ego getting in the way.
People say that, I don't like to read. Then now you have audio reading, right? You have these apps that can just take the name of the book and it'll just read you the book.
Summarize a book, use ChatGPT. But even at the aspect of like, I don't like to read. The things you have to do to achieve greatness are not things you're going to like. They're things that are going to be very uncomfortable for you. But again, we're just focused on, we just want to make a lot of money.
And the other thing is now times have changed a lot, right? I mean, for starting a business now, you have literally, for example, my wife does clothes, right?
Yeah.
And the other day she was cribbing about the fact that she wants to do a shoot. I said, why do you need a shoot?
Yeah.
She's like, I need to do a shoot because I have a new line. Our clothes were hanging somewhere in the room. I just went and it was 12 at midnight and I just took my phone out. I took a picture. I sent it to Gemini. I said, look, this is what I want to do. I want an outdoor setting. I want an Asian female wearing this.
Yeah.
Then Gemini asked me, would you want a dupatta with it? Do you want earrings with it? Do you want contemporary earrings with it? What do you want? I said, I gave it to my wife. I said, look, is this your thing? She said, yeah. So it's, people are just not, even her. I mean, I keep telling her that you need to learn this, right? How to use it. I mean, I did it in 2 seconds. You can do it much more refined and much more better if you do the right prompting.
Yeah.
It's all about the prompting.
It's all about the prompting, yes.
So we all need to use these tools. We're only using them. I hate it. I go to I won't name them, but big organizations, multinationals, I go to them. All the guys are doing is using ChatGPT for emails, yeah. for emails, that's it. You can do competitive pricing. You can do
financial modeling.
You can do so many things, right? So, but I guess that awareness is going to come in, and I hope that obviously organizations are. I mean, we're working with some organizations, and we feel that right now, initially there was a buzzword AI and everything. Now there are real use cases that they're coming up with.
Yes.
So it'll take time, but and it's not obviously, getting into this domain. It's not a perfect transition.
Yeah.
It takes time. It's how do you call it? It's a continuous learning, basically.
One thing I want to ask you is, do you think that you starting your career in the corporate world instilled the right discipline and the right values in you before you got into the your own business? Do you think it's important for the average person to start off doing a job and then getting into business, or does it really matter?
No, absolutely. I think a job is very important. I think a job is very important. Exposure, as I said, exposure means before you start your own business, it's very, very necessary to work somewhere where you get the maximum exposure. Don't work somewhere where you will be in a silo, in a hole somewhere. Work in an organization where you will be able to see the mainstream work of that organization.
Yeah.
Till you're not able to see that, till you're not able to live that, you will not be able to implement those best practices in your business. When we started our business, for the first few years, our employee handbook was very similar to the multinational handbook. Our code of conduct and everything was very similar to that. So you need to have that exposure.
Yeah.
You need to have that discipline. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of that discipline. I mean, I would love to be a morning riser and a very sort of quick, but that's one disadvantage that I have because I find my peace at night working. But yeah, I think it's essential. Absolutely.
Yeah. What's been the hardest part of your journey so far? You've been in business now for decades. You've built many different companies. You've been part of many different eras. Like the era we're in right now is very different than the 2010s and then the 90s. So you've seen all of that. But what's been the hardest part of your journey?
Give me a minute to think about it. No, I know. So, as I said, I think I would say the hardest part was when creating something that you feel has the potential and opportunity of going huge, right? Inshallah. And then to make it go into that direction, there's a lot of juggling and hustling you need to do. There's a lot of juggling and hustling you do. So there have been times that, obviously we have large enterprise projects, but the money cash flow problems are there, severe problems are there. At times you were of the opinion that, man, I mean, I'm going to close this, man. This is like, I can't do this. It's too much, it's too stressful. It's taking a toll on my private life, on my personal life. But then faith comes in. And you juggle and you come up with something. So I think there is no problem that I thrive on solving problems, right? That's another ethos. I love solving problems. Give me a problem, So when it's about yourself and your own problem, then if you have the right people around you to be able to think, deliberate, and sort of come up with a strategy, we've pulled the best problems.
Yeah.
Like the most impossible problems at times we've been able to pull. And we've seen the lows to the core lows, right? Where it's about whether my survivability is important or should this company's survivability be important. That time has also come.
Yeah.
Right? Then I put my company, because if I believed the fact that this is going to go there, so it's a compromise that I'm doing now for that belief. It can go wrong. It can not happen.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah. But I was willing to take that bet because I was able to validate a lot of those things. And I think, at the end of the day, the creator has sort of put me in this position for some destination, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would be just running my old company, service-based company. Why would this come? So my co-founder, by the way, the AI company, he walked into my house one day. I didn't know him. He walked into my house with a common friend. And the common friend so 7 years ago, a friend of mine called me. He said, "Are you home?" I said, "I'm home." He said, "I want you to meet someone." So it was 11 p.m. at night. I said, "Okay, come." So he came, he walked, and this boy doesn't like to, as I said, he's autistic as well in a way, and he doesn't like to meet people.
He's introverted.
Yeah, introverted, right? He said, I don't want to go meet your friend. Why should I go meet your friend, right? He said, no, come, you really like him. So he got to my house, and he came to my house, and we sat upstairs, and I asked him a few questions, and I said, dude, this guy's gifted. And I can identify what's the talent in this, what's the talent in that. I said, do you want to be a member of FPCCI Science, Technology and Education? Because I was the chairman for that at that time. And this is a kid, 24. He said, yeah. He got lights in his eyes. And then every time I used to, after that day, every time I used to go to Islamabad, I used to take him to my meetings. Because I used to be, I wanted to be sure whether I'm biased or whether there is something about this boy. Yeah. I took him everywhere. I took him to the highest levels. And he impressed the hell out of everyone, right? That validated everything. So, I don't know how I got here, but in the sense that this guy came into my life, just random. So there must be a plan that God has, right?
Yeah.
Why this happened, right? We didn't have money. We were literally, and R&D requires a lot of money.
Of course.
Right?
Building a product.
So, so basically, then one day my partner tells me, he says that there's this conference happening, Disrupt or something. There's this VC over there. Can you just go meet him and tell him about our stuff? So I just went. I said, roll my sleeves up, and I went there, looked for this guy, and I pitched him. And I said, this is what we're doing. And he was, very impressed. At that time, he invested about $250,000 in our business. Yeah. That seemed like $2.5 million to me at that time. But all of this was for a reason that happened, this happened. So I think, for me, I'm very adamant to sort of take this to the destination that it really desires and it really deserves. But, I think the biggest challenge was, again, coming back to your question, is to take that from that level to this level to the next level. So, then just talking about another very impressive feature. So what we were able to do was at a national level, we were able to convince the Prime Minister for getting a project with the FBR, right, which is for tracking your factory's production.
Wow.
So cement, textile, sugar, tiles, so all the production of that. So we've gone into that now caliber where we're doing a pan-Pakistan-wide deployment as well, right? So all of these all came with challenges. There's nothing that was not. I think I can't, specifically if you ask me, I can't recollect any one challenge. There's so many challenges that I used to think, this is the end of the world, man. This is done. I'm done. Exhausting, right? But we figured out a way. And I think praying really helps. For me, it really helped.
Faith is important.
Faith is very important. Really, really important. But we juggled the most impossible things. I kid you not. It's like we executed the most. I don't know. Let me tell you one example, if you want to, quickly. Which one should I tell you? Yeah. So we were. We said that this. The last 27th February, the one where we had that Abhinandan, the Indian aeroplane. So at that time, I advocated to the government of Pakistan. I said that we should celebrate this day as a fantastic tea day throughout the country. We should, in global embassies, we should distribute tea as a goodwill gesture, right? So we orchestrated this. We got this approved that all ministries and all departments will celebrate this particular time, this particular day. And at that time, I had also said, okay, chalo yaar, let's do this. I invited the governor to my house for a tea, right? And we produced a song also for that. And we were supposed to get sponsors for that, which didn't happen at the end of the day. And the governor in the morning said that he's not coming. I said, I'm not going to do this. There's such a thing happening and everything, the guests coming. What I did and what, God did, he came. The governor came after that. He came and orchestrating this whole thing, getting the sponsorships and not having the sponsorship. My partner called me, he said, don't do this event now because we don't have more funds. We still did the event. Literally, the mugs that we were for Fantastic Tea, we were supposed to get it signed from all celebrities. How we got those done, sent it to Turkey for some celebrities, and what backlash it gave us. But still, we orchestrated this event, and still, it was a successful thing.
Yeah.
And in fact, your father, he was a part of the Harley group, right? He came to my house at that day.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. So he was a Harley. We did a Harley parade as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I know about this.
Yeah. I remember seeing your father that day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was an impossible thing that we did. And it was nothing related to work, but it was. I mean, there's so many things related to work that we've orchestrated, but, and orchestrated, yet before that, we were in a bad place. You're like, what the hell? It's the end of the world. But we were able to do it, and I think
it's persistence, right?
It's persistence.
It's just you have to be persistent in business and life and everything.
As I said, failures come and you just rise.
Yeah.
Right?
Every failure is closer to success. My last question for you. You can take some time to think about it. But if I were to take everything away from you right now, your businesses, you start from nothing, you start from scratch. You've seen what the industry is like, you're seeing how the world is changing. What would you do? What business would you start? What industry would you get into? And how would you get to that first $10,000 or $100,000 as quickly as possible?
So because I've got exposure from multiple things, so obviously if I was to see the two things that I would really look at getting into, one is the research side of business, right? So that's one thing that I believe that there's one thing that machines can't do today is research, right? So either do something that the machines can't do, right? That'll be a good starting business, right? To create a fleet of researchers, qualified or trained, that would be something fantastic. And to sort of sell that capability globally, right? Because you've got these beautiful minds in Pakistan, PhDs, who can be sort of trained and so that's one area I would definitely get into. And then because I have seen the AI bandwagon and I've seen everything, I would perhaps look at, because obviously if you're taking everything away, I hope you're not taking my people away.
Taking everything, you're starting from scratch. You don't even have your connections.
I have to be then again a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not in that position ever, right? But, so because we're resilient and we have to do something, I can't stay idle.
Yeah.
I'll kill myself if I'm like in a place where I'm not doing anything, right? So I would definitely collect. So if I don't have anything right now, I will build everything again. I'll build everything again. First, I'll build the human capital, which is the right people around me, right? That will be the first step of getting the right ingredients to my success, right? Right now, even there are ingredients to the whole pizza, right? I have those ingredients. I will create those ingredients again, and I'll get into the space I want to at that time. So depending on that time, how diluted the AI space is, how forward are we in the machine learning scenario, I would just first gather my human capital back again and then decide what to do.
Wow. I didn't think you'd say that. You're basically saying, instead of just doing everything yourself, you just find the right people.
Of course.
You're saying the people are more important than anything else.
Yes. Why? I'll tell you that. I'm one person. I have a lot of lackings. I have a lot of shortcomings. I'm not the perfect person. I know my strengths. But I need those people with those strengths that I don't have. Right? I can't create anything on my own. Plus, I am one individual. Bimar bhi ho sakta hu, accident bhi ho sakta hai, kuch bhi ho sakta hai, right? I need to have a team of the right people who can complement me, who have the authority and the empowerment to do things. That's the best way. The human capital is one thing that, why was DeepSeek, one closing comment here. Why did DeepSeek create this big turbulence in the whole world? Why? Because they say that it was cheaper, it was less resources, it was, agreed, less GPUs, less compute power and everything. But what made them achieve that? Human capital. Better techniques of machine learning enabled them to use less hardware, created that turbulence in the world. So it's a human capital. So I would first get human capital in my pocket. the best of the best humans in the domains, and then work with machines and the AI agents in creating more scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing. So essentially, if you want to get to the outcome you'd like to achieve, you'd get there faster with the right people around you.
For sure. 100%.
Let's leave it at that note.
Perfect. Sounds good. We didn't even need a break.
Productive conversation. Thank you so much for your time.
I hope it was okay.
I think your path was very unique.
Yeah. What did you expect of the last question?
For the last question, I expected you to say something like, I'd build an AI model or I'd build a small company. I'd start off as a service provider, because I think, like, when I speak to people, again, the advice I give to young people is, number one, get exposed, right? So if you're starting with some form of exposure, you understand the fundamentals of AI, or you understand the fundamentals of the whatever respective business you want to get into, I would have expected you to say, I just do it myself. But I think your perspective is the best perspective I've heard so far. And I think I'm going to go stick with this. When I give people advice, it's just find other like-minded people who are also looking to get to where you want to get to. Because there is that African proverb, right? When you go far, you can't go alone, but when you go with people, when you have your tribe with you, you get there faster.
Because those people who are there don't even have a person like me now.
Exactly.
So they need me now.
So it also comes down to understanding your own strengths.
Yeah.
Like for a young person, a lot of young people don't know what their strengths are.
No,
and sometimes they get it wrong.
Yeah.
So it's just figuring out your strengths.
Even old people.
Even most people.
I met this guy, he was a replica of me.
Yeah.
He was a replica of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so the first meeting I had with him, I said, you have this problem, and this is what happens with you, and this is what happens with you. He's like, who the hell are you? What the hell are you? I said, you are a replica of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to, and a lot of people, you're right, they don't understand their own skill set.
Yeah.
They don't understand. And once you're able to do that, and that's why I say diversity. Diversify yourself for you to be able to recognize your core strength. Right? because अगर आप एक साइलो में एक ही काम कर रहे होगे 9 to 5 काम कर रहे होगे फाइनेंस अकाउंटिंग कर रहे होगे आप कभी अपनी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं ढूंढोगे क्योंकि आपको वो एक्सपोजर ही नहीं मिल रहा. That's it.
Thank you.
I loved it.